everyone, welcome back to the Sunny View podcast. This podcast is for Literacy Week about books, and I have some very special guests with me today, some friends of the library. Hi guys, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Luna. I am in year 7, and I'm really glad to be here.
Okay.
I'm Anna, and I'm in year 9C.
I'm Maggie, and I'm year 9C.
I'm Scarlett, and I'm in year 10.
Okay, that's amazing. So today we're going to talk about books, everything about books, from your reading habits to what's your favorite book and everything. I'm not a huge book fan, but it's fine because I've heard that you guys love reading, so you can, tell me more about it. So to start off, what was the first book you remember loving?
I'll say The Alchemist was my first book, loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
What is it about?
It's about a boy that travels the world to find a treasure, but he finds out at the end that the treasure is in the city he was in the start of the book, in where he was in the start. And, well, yeah, that's the book.
Okay. What about you guys?
One of my most recent books that I read is She's Here by Joy Fielding. It's about like a family that go to a resort, and then the kid ends up getting kidnapped, but then in the end there's like a massive plot twist.
Okay.
Very cool.
Okay.
I remember in the year 6 library, I picked up a terror book that after I read it, they threw it out because it was too scary.
Really?
But it was called The Babysitter IV, and it was about a girl who got released from a psychiatric hospital because she was schizophrenic, and she started working at this house, and she like saw kids that didn't exist, and it was really good.
Okay.
The first book that I really liked was the Harry Potter series books.
Mm-hmm. A classic.
Yeah, I am honestly a really big fan of those books.
Okay. Do you prefer reading physical books or online books? Or audio books as well?
For me personally, I never read an online book. I'm more into the old school, the books in paper, the normal books, as I think they are more entertaining, more fun. So you have something in your hand to read.
Okay. You guys?
I have both, but I prefer like the physical book because as me and Anna do, we stick post-its to like the lines we like, and it's very like fun to do it.
Okay. What do you put on the post-it? Just like...
We put next to like the line we like, or like the sentence.
Like a clear post-it, so then you can like go back and read them.
Okay.
I prefer physical books because I just feel it's better. And normally when I'm like looking at books online, I always have to go so close to it because I cannot see.
For me, I also like physical books for the little amount of books I've read. I like physical ones more because, I just like it more having something in my hands. And I feel like if you read online, then you'll eventually start, like, your head will start hurting. You'll have a headache. If you could live inside any book world, which one would it be?
I think The Wizard of Oz. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you guys agree? No? You've never read it?
Yeah, but for me, that book is so scary.
Really? It's because I think it's magical to live there.
What is it about?
The Wizard of Oz is about a girl that enters a bit of a fairy tale world, and she needs to find a way to get back home. And she meets a lot of friends, like good friends, not scary friends. And yes, it's a very good book, and very entertaining, very fun, and I really like it.
Okay, am I wrong if I say, is it like Wicked?
Yes, it's inspired by that.
Is it based? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it is.
okay. What about you guys?
I honestly don't really know.
Okay.
I think it's also what you're gonna say, I would definitely live in the Harry Potter world because I was obsessed when I was younger. So,
What do you think the Harry Potter, book, is so famous and popular?
I think since the moment that you read it, you get like nostalgia from it because it's a different world, so you get like very happy.
Yeah. What about you?
I would also go into the Harry Potter world, but I also read this book called Witch Hat's Atelier, and I also like that world.
Okay. Do you guys remember the first book that you read that actually got you into reading? That you just realized how much you love reading?
I would say as like a little kid, I loved David Williams' books. I found them very interesting and very fun.
The first book that I really, really enjoyed was a book called The Rest of Us Just Lived Here. And it's about all the people who aren't extraordinary, because like normally in books and all that, they talk about like the heroes and all that. So this book was about all the like regular people.
Okay.
I think a book called The Secret. That it just tells you about life and that nothing is like just a mistake.
Okay.
I think Forasteros del Tiempo, it was like one of my favorite books when I was younger. It's like about this like family that they traveled through time and now they just cannot go back to their real time.
Okay, what language do you guys like to read more? In English or in Spanish or in any other languages maybe?
English, I love reading in English.
More than Spanish?
Yeah, of course. I
Really?
read a lot in English and I read very few in Spanish.
Okay.
I would say English, though I read both in Spanish and English, because like the books that are made in English and then like written right in Spanish are a bit like confusing. The words are not really make sense.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I only read in English because when they translate it to Spanish, I don't know why, I always get like cringed out by the translation. So
I read quite a lot of Spanish books, but I prefer English books.
Okay. So, the World Book Day is coming, and in our school we get to dress up. Are you guys going to dress up? Do you want to tell us what are you going to dress up as? Or what are you planning on?
I didn't plan anything, but if I get to dress up,
Yeah.
I'll dress as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
She's very, I like a lot her dress and her shoes, the red shoes.
Okay.
I think this year we're not doing like character dress up.
We're not?
Because the English department said that we had to dress up as traditional English idioms. So my entire class, we're gonna dress as blackmail. So we're gonna wear black and carry like letters.
Like
So-
envelopes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. I
Yeah.
didn't know about that.
We had a whole costume planned, but
What was it?
Yeah.
Tell us, what was it?
we were gonna dress up like from different like fantasy books, like the main character from each book.
Okay.
I want to dress up as Harry Potter.
Okay.
But maybe if I can find like clothes from the Witch Hat Atelier, maybe I will dress up as a girl from there.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about a bit personal reading habits. So how often do you read in a normal week? More or less.
Okay. I read in the playgrounds. I really like to read. Sometimes I read in home, but I really like reading in school.
Okay.
I would say after like I finish with my homework or in the 15 minutes we have before the class starts, we read there. But yeah, I feel like that could help me finish a book easily in 1 week.
Oh, 1 week.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I always read like half an hour before bed because like I always keep my books at my bedside table, so it's like the time that I'm not lazy to read. So yeah.
Does it sorry, go?
I don't really like to read, but I would say I could read like 2 chapters like in a week.
Okay. No, that's better than nothing. I wanted to ask you something, but is it for you like an effort to read, or do you do it as like going on social media?
I don't go on social media, but for me, reading is a pleasure, really. It just gets me to other worlds and helps me like having more fun. I really enjoy reading.
Okay.
I would say it's like when I'm like stressed about homework, I just read. It's very relaxing, I would say.
I think for me, it's not an effort at all because I've kind of like discovered that books explain like worlds and all that better than films. They're more like authentic.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, what was the question?
It is do you need effort to start reading?
That. Not really. Depending on the day it is, like if I feel more lazy, then it is. But like I usually just get on reading like really easily.
Okay. I wanted to ask you something again, but I forgot. Oh yeah, I remember. Have you ever experienced when people say that the book is more accurate than a movie? And in what case?
The book usually, from all the books I read, it always gives you more detail, maybe about the character that the movie doesn't give you. Maybe the movie skips some parts of the book that aren't really important, but they contribute into a book being good. Mm-hmm. And movies doesn't have that little details.
That's true.
I remember I read like a book from the library, Let Us Know in Christmas time, and the movie skipped almost like 10 chapters, which I think is not very good.
Really?
The adaptation was horrible.
Okay.
I think in Harry Potter, because I read the books first, like the characters, they did them terribly. Like Harry Potter's meant to have green eyes.
Really?
And like Hermione also has green eyes. So I was watching it and I was like with that at the back of my head, like.
I think it was supposed to be green eyes, but like the character of Harry Potter couldn't have.
And so you read the books before watching the movie, if you're gonna watch the movie. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Have you finished all the books you've started reading? Yes? No?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I would say I have read like mostly the books that I have completely read, but like there's some that I bought and they're not very good, so I just leave them apart and you know.
My bookshelf is like really big, but there's a lot of books that I haven't even started because I buy new ones, so then I'm more excited to read those, and it's like a chain.
How many books do you think you've read your whole entire life?
Like, well, in Goodreads it says I've read like 160. So I let go of that. But I started it, I think, 5 years ago, so.
Okay. You guys? More or less.
More or less. I don't know. I've never count them, but I'll say like 150, 200. I don't know. I started reading from a young age.
Yeah, I would say like a similar number to Scarlett, like around that numbers.
Okay.
Since young age.
Mm-hmm.
I say like 120 something. I don't know. I don't really...
Well, I'm gonna say 5. What's your favorite genre and why? Like, what's your favorite type of books? Romance, kind of like scary books.
I'll say fiction.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like fiction as you can discover like new worlds, like not the ordinary book about romance. Well, I don't like romance drama because you're always the ordinary, but fiction is more like going into new worlds, new characters.
Okay.
I have just started fantasy and it's really good, though I would say either thriller or romance.
Okay.
I think I really like books that are a combination of romance and fantasy, but I've also read a lot of nonfiction, like psychology books and all that are more useful, I think. So, yeah.
Sorry, just one. What do you describe as, what's the other, fantasy? What do you describe as fantasy?
Like
different like worlds. Like,
So it's like science fiction.
Yeah.
Like, I think dystopia, if there's someone with powers or there's like something that's a bit odd, I think it counts as fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also nonfiction counts also as nonfiction, I think.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if there's something, someone with powers or something odd, like Anna said, I think also counts as nonfiction.
Oh yeah, obviously. Okay. So, sorry, yeah, go.
I like drama and like scary books.
Okay. What book completely surprised you? It could be plot twist, or it could be a book that you thought you weren't gonna like, but you loved it, or the other way around. You thought you were gonna love it, but you hated it.
I mean, now currently I'm reading Marley and Me, that was made after into a movie. It's about a dog. I thought it was going to be okay, but I really like it because it gives a lot of details about like the life of this family, the dog, and I thought I was going to like it, but now I really love it.
Oh, great.
I don't remember.
If you don't have any, that's fine.
I really hated Romeo and Juliet. Like, I despised it.
Yes.
Because it made me really annoyed how the characters, like, meet and they're like, let's die for each other.
Yeah.
Like, it made me very annoyed.
Did you read it in English in school?
Yeah, we read
or?
it in English, in Old English, and then we
Yeah.
watched 2 films and...
Yeah, I know. I've been there as well.
Yes.
I know I named the same books a lot, but like I only read those types of books. I'd say for S03E21, when my mom bought it for me, I was like, Mom, I don't like these types of books. But then I actually started reading them, and now it's like one of my favorite books.
Okay, I actually have one as well. It's my dad. He told me it's a book that he read himself. He told me it's like very good, and it's a book you have to read. But it's not really like a nice book that you read for like, it's more of a like life lesson book and stuff like that. And I was like, there's no way I'm reading that. There's absolutely no way. But then I read it, I started reading it, and it's one of the only books that I've actually finished and that I read. So it was quite surprising.
And what's the name?
I don't remember. It's wait. It's but it's a French book as well. I have no idea. But it's about something. It's like in ancient times, and it's very complicated. It's a guy in Morocco, I think, and he's looking for a treasure. But then along his way for the treasure, he like learns so much about life and everything. Something along the lines. Do you guys judge a book by its cover?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, when I'm picking up books on the library, I always look the cover. And depends if I like the cover, I'll look at this synopsis. Like, yeah. But yeah, I usually judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
I try not to, but
Yeah.
sometimes I do. If I don't like the cover, I look at the blurb and I see if I like it or not by then.
I do, because I don't like when there's like a really ugly book on my bookshelf. So if I think that I'm gonna really like the book, but the cover's ugly, I'll like look for like a special edition or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I do, not so much, but I do. Like, there was this book, I don't remember what it was called. I looked at the cover and I honestly hated it. But then I read the blurb and it was actually really cool. So I read it.
So you think that the cover of a book is really important? Okay. What's the longest book you've ever read?
I'll say, Odyssea.
Yes?
Yeah, so I think that's the longest. It had like 600 pages, and I read it in a month.
In a month. Guys, how do you do this? I genuinely, like, it takes me like half a year to read like one book. Not even finish it.
I would say The House of Flame and Shadow, which has like 800 pages. I read it in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'd say Midnight Sun was like 800 and something, but also really basic. But the Bible, it's really long, and I read it like pretty fast.
Okay.
So yeah.
Was it interesting? Was it nice?
I think, well, I'm Catholic, so obviously I liked it. But I think that you don't need to read the whole thing, but reading like a child one or something, it's already like a very good insight on the religion and all that.
Yeah, there's many different ones you can read.
Yes.
I've seen.
I remember there was one that was like 300 and something pages, but I don't remember the name. But I do remember there was another book that was also quite long for me. It was called Who Let the Gods Out, and it was quite long for me.
Probably one of the Harry Potter as well, I can imagine.
Yeah, those two.
The like last ones, the very long, no? What's a popular book that you've read and that everyone like, but you don't like it?
I started reading Heartstopper. I didn't really enjoy it. It was fun, but I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was going to be very good.
Yeah, you didn't get the hype
Yeah.
around the book. Okay.
Anna recommended to me Butcher and Blackbird, but I read it in my Kindle and I accidentally put I read it in Italian without knowing, and
How do you not realize this?
and first I didn't really understand the plot, and now I need to reread it.
Okay. Okay.
I really didn't like the Powerless Saga, and I bought the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like they did the same thing in every book 7 times.
Oh.
It was very exhausting.
Okay.
I heard like from one of my friends, I don't know if a lot of people know that there exists a book like of this type of movie. It's like Five Nights at Freddy.
Oh.
One of my friends told me that they read it, and it was really cool. And they also showed it to other friends, and they said it was really cool. And so I decided to read it, and I didn't really like it.
Okay. What's one book you think everyone should read at least once in their life?
I'll say The Alchemist. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's.
Oh, isn't that a movie as well?
I don't know.
I think
Oh my
they're
God,
gonna
wait.
turn it into a movie.
I think that's the book I read.
When?
I think the one I was talking about.
Oh.
Is it?
I mean, it was about a treasure, but I don't know if it was in Morocco. Okay, yes, I think
Okay,
it was
it's definitely
that book.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've read that book.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think everyone should read
Oh, I
it.
didn't know it was like also in other languages. I thought it was like a French old
no.
book or something.
I think it's very inspiring.
It is very inspiring.
Yeah, and it really cheers me up when I read it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I'm also gonna say that one.
I would say also my dad recommended the book to me, Surrounded by Liars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have liars like as friends, but it helped me detect them.
Okay. What is it about? Well, liars, I'm guessing.
It's
but-
like a psychology book that like it gives you like tips on how people act that can help you like distinguish
Mhm.
who is a liar.
Okay.
I read a book called Free Will, and it's a bit boring at the beginning, but it's like argues that free will is like a concept that's not true. And it also, because I'm really interested in studying medicine, and it talks about how like in those hard decisions that you're gonna have to make in your life, you need to understand that your job is not only to save lives, but to make sure that your patients feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
And because like sometimes you want like a patient to do a treatment or something and they don't want to, and they have like free will.
Yeah, obviously.
I said The Secret of Life. It's like a type of book. It's like about life, like stuff that you should do and stuff that you shouldn't. And it really got me inspired.
Okay. By the way, have you guys like when someone's talking about a book, do you guys like know? For example, did you know what she was talking about? Like what book? No? Oh, okay. I thought you guys would know, and yeah. So do you think that school should force students into reading, well, first into reading more books? Yes?
Totally.
Yeah?
Yes, but I think they should change it because maybe some students don't like the type of book. So like they should like see the amount of students that like the genre, or so they can change it and more students might like reading all of a sudden, and I think it will really help.
I think that reading, because for example in English we have like a class a week where it's just reading, and I think that's really good. But I know the guys in my class, they read like their chemistry notebooks, and they're just like drawing. So I think they should be a bit more strict about it because no one reads.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think reading is really important and should be empowered.
Like implemented.
Yeah, implemented more, and like, they should really make it a thing. But also like, I think like for me when I was younger, reading was such a big deal, and like your parents would make you read so much, and at school as well you had to read, but I was never really into reading. Like I do like reading, but it's like I'd rather do something else. So I think like they should sometimes understand that reading is not always for everyone. But yeah, and that takes me to my next question. Should school make students read classicals, like for example Romeo and Juliet and stuff like that?
Yes, I think so, because they're like the start. They're like the start you need to read, the books you need to read before reading more modern books. Because I think they're the classical. I read Romeo and Juliet. I really liked it. I really liked the end, but yeah, I'm sorry, Anna. But yeah, I think school should encourage people to read classicals because they are more like they are more fully than the actual books.
Yeah, but who's actually going to do something about Romeo and Juliet?
Sorry?
Who's actually going to do something with Romeo and Juliet? It's a bit like I think it's good to know about it and to like know the story, what it is about, and like it's also Shakespeare, so it's important. It's a bit like learning about history in a way.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like that big of a deal.
I think you should know the classics.
Yeah, you should know them, but like force them to read them and everything, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What about you guys?
I don't think so. I personally didn't really like Romeo and Juliet because it's so like wild and how they meet and all and everything. But yeah, some are not the greatest of them all, but like some are very good, but some are not good.
I think that some classics are, I think, just like human culture. Like, you need to know who Shakespeare is and all these things.
Obviously, yeah.
Like, you need to know some Greek myths, all that. I think they should maybe select a bit more wisely because some of them are interesting. But, for example, 12 Nights, we read it this year and it was pretty good. I liked it.
Okay.
I link to her point because like knowing like classic books is like the starting of you to read. Like when you learn how to like, for example, walk, you start crawling first and then you start walking. Well, reading classics is like that. You first start reading classics and then you start reading like actual modern books.
But what if, like, for example, someone, as you're saying, we start by reading classicals, but someone, for example, hates Romeo and Juliet or like Macbeth or something. I don't know if you guys know Macbeth. It's another, it's another Shakespeare one. And they like absolutely hates it. Don't you think it's gonna make them hate reading in the future? And it's not gonna push them to read more.
Maybe I wouldn't give them those books. Maybe I would give them other classical books.
But all classical books are a bit like that.
I think that you don't really get into reading by reading classics. I think reading classics actually gets you out of reading a bit.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like a process because you need to like translate the old English into English. So I think if you are a confident reader, it's good that you read them. But I don't think for someone that's starting to get into reading, they are a positive like thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you guys like analyzing books? So in English, I think you guys have done. Well, you're doing the anthology right now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm doing.
I don't know if you guys are doing this as well.
Yeah, we did it with 12 Nights.
Okay. And do you guys enjoy doing this?
I quite like it for some parts because like you find the real meaning about like a sentence and you like kind of dissect it to know how they express it and how they really meant it.
I don't really like writing in the book because then I feel like the book is ruined. And so, but I do think that especially when you're reading Old English, you can't really read it without analyzing it.
Obviously, yeah.
And I think because we have a lot of essay evaluations, I think it's very useful when you're doing that.
Okay.
I don't really write in the book, but when we write like in a separate piece of like sheet, it does help me to understand the book more.
Okay.
And it helps me to like when I read it like over again like in my house, it helps me to know what they're actually talking about.
Okay. Is English one of your favorite subjects? No.
Yes, I'll say so. I like English, not my favorite subject, but I really like it. Right now I'm doing the anthology.
Yeah.
And I really like annotating things, like fully understanding what what the text means. Is what in English we do in year 10. I don't know in younger years, but yeah, I especially like English.
Okay. What text are you doing right now?
We're doing a text from a woman. I don't. The danger of a single story. It's called.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys?
I would probably rank English like my top 3.
Oh,
like
okay.
The last one. Yeah, I would say that.
I like the subject, but I am more into science.
Okay.
So sometimes it's a bit boring for me to just like analyze every word that Shakespeare says. So
Yeah.
I like English, but it's also not my favorite subject. I'd say I like more like science too, because it's just more fun, like physics, like to understand how gravity works and stuff like that.
Okay. So now let's talk a bit about characters in stories. So which fictional character do you relate the most?
Like relating like what?
You just really like them and you feel kind of connected to them, and if you guys know already, you can
Yeah, you
say
can go first.
I really don't know, but I have been in the past with like a character, especially like female, who I despise. Like their personality is like horrible.
Okay.
I really liked Hermione Granger. When I was like 8, someone told me that I reminded them of them, and that was like my favorite compliments ever because she's like super powerful and clever. So
Yeah.
I like Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter too, because one, it's the same name as mine, and two, she's like really like curious into stuff, and like if I asked my friends to describe me, I think they would describe me like her.
Okay. Did you think of anyone?
I have no idea.
No? And which book do you relate the most? Maybe a book you read that you feel, again, connected to, or that you've lived a similar experience, or...
I'll say again The Alchemist, really, because I started reading from a young age in Spanish. I started reading there, and I didn't finish it. But then in the school, I found it on the library, and I started reading again just to say, okay, I'll finish the book, and I really feel connected to it.
Okay.
I feel like when I was younger, I really liked. I felt like connected to Harry Potter, like as her, the girl, and I feel like she's very powerful, and I felt like as a little kid very powerful, which I don't think really now, but like, you know.
Okay.
I'd have to say Harry Potter too, and also the rest of us just live here because I think a lot of times, especially when you're like younger, you just feel normal and not like super powerful. And so I really liked it. I was like, that's me.
Okay.
I'd also say Harry Potter. I don't really know how to explain why, but like, I just feel I really get connected to it when I read it or watch the movies.
I've read also a book, like a saga, right? No, yeah. I think this one is for real French, I think. But it's basically just the story of a teenager from when she's 13 to up to like 21 maybe. And she just talks about her life. And there's like things you can obviously relate as a teenager, you know. So that was nice as well. What book character would you want as a best friend?
I'll say the dog from Marley and Me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why is that?
I'm really into animals. When I'm older, I want to have a bunch of animals, a farm.
Okay.
And I'm really into animals. I love them, and I think they're very good companions in your life. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say like, the book I'm reading now. It's pretty. I feel like the character really represents me, and like how a friend would be for me is Ruby from like Maxton Hall.
Okay.
I'd say Violet from A Series of Unfortunate Events because she's very sarcastic and clever, and I really like that book. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know if they did a book about Avatar, but like I cannot think of any other characters from books. From Avatar, I think Tuk. It's like the little sister, like from the whole family.
Okay. And now, what's a book character you would never want to meet? You know, the girl you were saying that you hate? Well, that kind of thing. You would never want to meet them.
You can go first. I'll think about it.
Probably, if he had been with me, is the girl. It's like her, again, as I said, her personality is like awful.
Okay.
I'd say Harry Potter.
Really?
He's so focused on being the chosen one.
I know.
And we need to move on a little bit.
I know. I agree. I agree that, well, I've watched the movies. Well, I read actually the first and the second book, but then I've watched the movies. And in the movies, he kind of pisses me
arrogant.
off. Yes. He's so like, he thinks everything's about him.
Yes.
Like self-centered.
Yes. Yeah. No, but I still love him. And the whole movie, but it's like, come on.
I'd say like Severus Snape from Harry Potter too. I just don't like the way he turned out to be nice, because I feel like his character would be better like being like that bad person for the whole movie.
I agree. What book had the most shocking plot twist that you've read?
I'll say The Alchemist.
Really?
Just because at the end, you read it to the end, right?
Yeah.
At the end, the character in the start, he starts like in a tree where he always lives with his sheep, and at the end, the treasure that he searched like in 3 countries or something is finally where he slept all night under the tree. So I think that was a real plot twist for me. Really shocking.
It was.
Really.
I would say, I need to remember the She's Here by Joy Fielding. I thought the mother would like forget her daughter, but then she came about. I'm not gonna spoil it, but like it was very shocking.
I'd say Lightlark. I'm actually on the second book right now. I finished it yesterday, and all the characters which hadn't met, apparently one of them had erased all their memories, and they actually 2 of them were already married, but they didn't remember, and so I was like not processing anything yesterday.
Okay.
I don't remember really the title of the book. It was like something Falling Star. It was like about this mother of a girl that was like got into a coma, and it was like a very high like possibility that she would die. And then like the daughter like kept on visiting her, and she got into her mother's dreams like every single time. And then there was like this goal that the daughter had to do to like reach this giant's like door and be able to actually open it. And then she made it, and when she made it, the mother died, and I thought she was going to live.
Okay. I have one as well. It's Behind Her Eyes, and it's also a show on Netflix actually, and it's actually insane. It's so hard to explain, but it's insane. You have to read the last sentence of the book to like understand everything, and that's when you start understanding everything. Literally like the last 5 sentences maybe. So it's really good. And I've watched the show as well, and it was really good. Which book world would you be terrified to live in? And what's also the scariest book you've ever read? If there's any.
I mean, I will not like, because now currently in English literature, I'm reading An Inspector Calls, which is actually a play, but we're reading it as a book, and I will really not like to live in that world. I don't actually like the book, but yeah, but yeah, I will not like to live in that world.
Okay.
In year 7, I remember we read The Three Musketeers. I didn't like the world they lived in. It was a very ancient and like a bit weird for me.
I'd say there are books about this, Stranger Things,
Yeah.
because I would be terrified if I was just like normal in my little town and then suddenly there's a portal to like another world. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I really like the book of Wizard of Oz, but I don't know if I suddenly like got teleported to their world. I wouldn't like it because everything is just so weird.
Yeah. So now a bit more fun. Well, they were fun, but fun questions. So if your life was a book title, what would it be?
I'll say I'm always very happy, so I'll say The Marvelous Stories of Scarlet.
Okay.
I'll say that.
I don't know. I'm still thinking.
I think it would just be messy. Yes. Like, I have a lot of like goals and things to do, so like my agenda or something, it can look very organized because it's like color coded and everything, but then like it's also very messy because there's like so much to do.
Yeah. Chaotic.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say organized but chaotic, because I feel like you never know what's gonna happen, but at the same time you know. So it's like,
Yes.
what?
Okay.
I'd say Luna's diary, because like I like to like put everything that has happened to me in my diary, and then like for example, I found my old diary when I was younger, and I read it all, and I really like the stories that I had. So.
What kind of book would you write if you had to write a book? What would it be? I think I'd be a bit like you, where I'd write a journal, my personal journal of like things that's going on in my life.
But you mean like a genre or
Like just genre and like
I think I'd write like a dystopia because I find it really funny how dystopian authors like take things that are happening now and then like dramatize it to make like or a political or like comment on their opinion of the world at the moment. So I definitely want to do something like that.
Okay.
I would say either like a diary or a journal, or like a fantasy dystopia, because they're two very good books to have.
I also really like romance books, so I don't know, I'd make like a sort of romance drama, and then like at the end like a really big plot twist.
Okay. Would you guys make a biography of yourselves?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I would say yes, but like not make it not very like self-centered, because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of them are very like, I did this and I did this, and like,
Yeah.
let's not do that.
We had to actually start writing a biography for English class, and I think the teacher got a bit traumatized because she drew like sad faces in the margin of my book.
Oh.
So I don't think anyone would write to read any books about me. That's kind of boring.
Okay.
I don't think so. I wouldn't write a biography about me. Not only because I don't want to, but also because I don't really like talking about myself, because I feel really like self-centered, like Maggie said.
Okay. If you guys could change the ending of a book, what would it be? Which book would it be, and how would you change the ending?
I'll say I don't know what to say. I'll say An Inspector Calls. I didn't like the ending. That was the worst part of all, because at the end, the An Inspector Calls book, it goes about a family that has accidentally killed a woman, but by accident. And this inspector comes to ask questions and everything. And at the end, the inspector goes, and at the end, they receive a call saying that they had just murdered a girl. It was the same girl. But the thing is, I think at the end, there's some hint that the inspector was the murderer. And I didn't like that ending. It was really just overgoing.
Okay.
I would say the book The Murder of Mr. Accord. The last part was very confusing. I didn't know who murdered the boy, and at the end, I just passed.
I'd say it's a trilogy called Once Upon a Broken Heart. The bad character gets turned into a tree, and that's like the end. And I didn't really want to see him as a tree.
Yeah, that's a bit boring.
Yeah.
Um, and there's like this book that I remember I read. I don't really remember the name.
That's
because
okay.
I just look at books that I like. I don't really look at the name. And at the end, there was like, not at the end, but like in like the second book, one of my like favorite characters died. And then in the end, they revived him. And I know I'm supposed to like that, but I didn't because like I already read the rest of the books like without him. And it's like, why is he back?
Okay. If you could interview any author, dead or alive, who would it be? I would probably do Shakespeare, honestly. Because what was going on in his mind?
Probably Shakespeare. I think because I read some books about him, like Twelfth Night is from Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and he writes like very strangely. So yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, but also says Shakespeare. Yeah.
I'd also say him, but mainly because in English we did like an activity that we had to insult using only words that Shakespeare had created, but like he created super weird words. Like I don't think I'd be able to just like pop words out. Like I don't think I'd be able to do that.
I think also Shakespeare because like I just don't know what he thought about to make like these super books.
And any alive author? Do you guys have anyone in mind that you just like and you would talk to them?
I'd say Stephanie Garber. She's written a lot of famous books like Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart, and she writes like very whimsical. It's like she's kind of 7, like with her magic world. So yeah.
Okay. Finally, some endings questions. Do you think that books are still really important today?
Of course.
Yes.
And why do you think they're so important?
I think it's the key that just builds your mind, like in your teenager and everything. You need your mind to be built, and I think the books really help.
Do you believe in the statement? I don't know if you guys ever heard that, but I've heard it a lot when I was younger. That if you read, you'll be more intelligent. Do you believe in that? You think
Yes.
that totally? Yeah.
Because if you like don't really read and you look at social media only, like your mind will be full of like videos that you saw before, and like there won't really be space for like other stuff. But like if you read, like your mind sort of like expands, and you have more imagination, and I just think.
Okay.
I think. Perdón.
You
I think now with like AI and all that stuff, it's very important to have critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
And I think by reading that, because like even if you're reading like kind of a dumb book, you still have to like think. You wanna like be thinking like what's gonna be the plot twist, all that.
Obviously.
And now that half of the videos that I see are AI, and I'm like, oh my god, how did I not notice? I think it's very important.
Okay.
Yes, I think it really expands your your words and like how you use them. Also, as Anna said, the AI is completely taken over the world, and you need more like I would say more like physical things, like a book.
Yeah, obviously.
Like now in school we write on computers. Why not books? Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, a few years ago, I was terrible at math, and I knew that as I read more, my skills in math improved. I don't know if it was for reading or something, but I think it makes sense.
Oh, well, maybe I'll read more. What's one book that you'll recommend someone that hates reading, that will get them into reading, that they're gonna love?
I'd say Witch Hat Atelier because only if you like mangas, because like for example, I have this friend that read it and she doesn't like it at all, but because she doesn't really understand mangas. We chat earlier because it's like really cool and it inspires you to like, I don't know, it inspires me to do more stuff. I don't know how.
Oh, me. I'd say Atomic Habits. It's non-fiction, which sounds super boring, but it's not because the author gives a lot of anecdotes, and I think that sometimes why people don't like reading is because they get like confused with the super weird names of places and all that. And so it's pretty straightforward and it's fun.
Okay.
I would say Anna recommends all the books and I read mostly. Yeah.
I think Harry Potter, because I think it's a really entertaining book, and I think it's perfect for the start of reading for someone that doesn't like reading anything.
Okay. Well, this is the end of the podcast, girls. I hope you had a fun time.
Can
Did you?
I give a shout out?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and my dad was really excited for my podcast today, and I just want to say that he was the one that passed on this love for reading that I have, and I really want to thank him for that. So thanks, Dad.
Okay, perfect. Well, you guys had fun?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, well, see you next week for a new episode. Bye.